We're back with a older Toyota, the 2004, but what I'm about to do will work on a 2009 or older vehicle, whether it's a Toyota, Honda, or even some Nissans. Maybe Lexus. No, I have a Toyota and Lexus, the same thing. The customer's been driving this vehicle for a while, and the catalytic converter is borderline. It's not failing, it's not passing. If the customer takes this vehicle to a smog station, it's not gonna pass. But technically it's not failing. The catalytic converter is borderline. So we're gonna talk about borderline catalytic converters. And here's one of them. Customer has been driving this vehicle for about 2 weeks, and everything else is ready except that cat. Here in California, it will not pass. There's no codes. ECT is 88. You want a vehicle to be 80 Celsius or a little more. If it's under 80, you're gonna have a hard time setting the monitors and oxygen sensor cat monitors ready. It's at 88. And you need a scanner for this. Fuel trims, they're under 10. Short-term and long-term fuel trims. And if you accelerate at another speed, the long-term fuel trims go over 10. So we're gonna warm up the catalytic converter, and when we're driving, we're gonna have to keep that long-term fuel trims under 10. Right now it's at 6.3. It goes up and down. So before I jump in the freeway, I'm gonna warm up this catalytic converter and oxygen sensors for 3 minutes, almost at 3,000 RPM. I checked all the fluids, and the oil's new. Coolant is at its level. You want to check that before you warm up the catalytic converter, or you rev up the RPM more than almost 3,000 RPM. Don't go over 3,000. And we're gonna do this for 3 minutes. And two things can happen here while I do that. Sometimes the catalytic converter code will get activated, and if it doesn't, we can jump on the freeway after 3 minutes and try to get that monitor ready without any codes. So I have 30 seconds warming up the cat, and I'm gonna put it pause, and I'm gonna come back live in about 2.5 minutes. Now this vehicle's a V6, so I try not to get too close to that 3,000 RPM. It's not a good idea for any vehicle to rev it up more than 3,000. You don't want to do that. Just keep it under 3,000, especially if it's a V6 or a V8. You gotta be careful with that. Well, I did not have to jump in the freeway. Right here in the parking lot, the catalytic converter is set. I'm here in the parking lot. I was about to jump in the freeway. See, over here. And usually when the catalytic converter is borderline, you're able to warm up the cat, jump in the freeway, and it'll get that cat ready. But right here in the parking lot is ready to go. And the customer was driving this vehicle for 2 weeks. And this is what I would have done. I would have turned off the vehicle for about 10 seconds. And I would have turned it back on about 10 seconds later. And then I would have jumped in the freeway. And the freeway entrance is over there. So when you do that, the first thing the computer does is sees the cat working better when it's warmed up, and you'll activate the catalytic converter. I didn't use a spacer. I didn't use any additive, any Catalytic. I have a video how to use a Catalytic. I didn't use any of that. All I did is I warmed it up for 3 minutes, just under 3,000 RPM. See, just under 3,000 RPM, because this is a V6. I did that for 3 minutes, and when I was about to turn it off and then turn it back on and jump in the freeway, wham, there it is. This is after the customer drove this vehicle for days. I did it here in about, well, I got this vehicle ready for the smog in about 3 minutes, ramming it up to almost 3,000 RPM. So this will work for catalytic converters that are borderline. And like I said, two things can happen. It'll pick up a code, or you'll get it ready. And this one's ready to go. This vehicle has 2 catalytic converters. It's an 04 Tacoma. And this will work for Nissan, Honda, Toyota, Lexus, Scion, 2009 and older. 2000 to 2009, even a 96 to 99. But there it is, ready for a smoke check here in California. Over and out.